Broadcast is produced entirely by the students at Southeast High School in partnership with Kaiser University.
Welcome live from Southeast High School in Bradenton, Florida. SETV Southeast High School Sports presents Lady Seminole Volleyball.
What about it?
Started.
Live from Southeast High School in Bradenton, Florida, SCTV Southeast High School Sports presents Lady Seminole Volleyball. Tonight, it is our last broadcasted volleyball game of the season. Lady Noles are playing host to the Palmetto Tigers in one of the biggest games of the year, Volley for the Cure. The two teams are donating almost all the proceeds from tonight to help block out breast cancer with the Susan G. Komen Foundation. The Seminoles have a record of 6-6 and are sitting with 1 win and 2 losses in the district, while the Lady Spartans are 1-8 overall with an 0-4 district record. I'm Don McGee, and I'll be bringing you the play-by-play of tonight's action. And joining with me is my partner, Marcy Barges, who will be explaining all the action. Well, Marcy, a great night to start off with. Volley for the Cure, of course, is always one of the biggest nights in volleyball here at Southeast. Started quite a few years ago. Who was that coach that was here when it started?
Yes, this is the 9th annual Volley for the Cure. And it was originally started by Coach Carmen Garofalo in 2008. And so he started that here. Was a coach here for probably 4 years, and then it's just the tradition has continued, and it's always a fun event. There's a nice crowd here. We have some cheerleaders from Southeast here ready to cheer on, so it's some things that you usually don't have at a volleyball game.
Well, it certainly is. I know that the noise level is about the highest it's ever been here, and that's just wonderful. I want to give a shout out right now, though, before we go. I want to explain to our listeners and our viewers that this whole event is put on the TV side of it, is put on by the students here at Southeast High School, and they do such a wonderful job. I know Amanda Clark is heading them up this year, and Mike Brooks has always been working on sound and is another one of the mentors here. But really it's the kids that are doing all the work. When I say kids, students. Most of the students who have graduated from here have gone on to really great positions, including ESPN and other places like that. But it's just an amazing thing that the students here, and we've been ranked nationally at #1 for several years on the national scene as far as TV goes. So that just goes to show how great the program is.
Right, and they do multiple different sports. I know they do football, softball, baseball, volleyball, basketball, so they're getting schooled in all different kinds of sports and how to broadcast them.
As well as all the other things they do
Right.
besides sports. That's
Right.
right, yeah. Well, anyways, tonight is going to be a real exciting time. I know that we've played Palmetto once before. I went to the game in Palmetto. It was a pretty close game. I think Southeast came out. They won 3-0, but it was each of the games was pretty darn close. What do you see for tonight? How do you see it going down tonight?
Well, I think I would think both of these schools are really similar in style and development and ability. So I would expect to see a really close game. That's what we've seen in the past from both these schools. They pull from the same type of kids, have about the same number of kids playing out a season. Usually most of the kids are multi-sport athletes. Their volleyball may not be their #1 sport, so I expect it to be a pretty close game.
Well, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a wonderful game. We're going to have the rosters and the captains and all that stuff soon. But for right now, what I'd like to do is, Marcy, you and I have been doing this for I don't know how many years, but many, many years. And,
Probably 8 years, probably about the number of years we've been doing Volley for the Cure, I think.
well, I think we did the first Volley for the Cure, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but one of the things we haven't done is really gone over your experiences. We talk about the coaches and the players, but I'd like everybody to know exactly how you got involved in volleyball and in high school and then in college and then what you're doing and what you've done since then. Maybe you could give us a rundown, starting with high school, how you got
Okay.
involved in it.
Well, I'm from Pennsylvania, a small town called Conneaut Lake, Pennsylvania. When I was in ninth grade, at that time we didn't have middle school volleyball. But when I was in ninth grade, I tried out for a junior national team, and I made this junior national team, which is, I would say, is sort of equivalent to club teams now, but there weren't many club teams around then. So we played more teams from other states and stuff like that.
Wow.
So it was sort of the beginning of the junior club scene. And so a lot of girls in 1979 or whenever that was were doing that kind of stuff. So it really
You're
gave
not
me
that old, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my gosh.
So it really gave me an advantage to learning the game of volleyball. And so our high school team was quite good, and I also played basketball, which also accented my volleyball skills. I was a pretty good jumper. I ended up being recruited by several different schools, and I went to Penn State to play volleyball at Penn State. I was a blocker middle hitter for Penn State in the early 80s. And at that time, Penn State was, first of all, that was before, the first year I was there, they didn't even have NCAA sports for women. So I think it was my sophomore year was the first year that we were in the NCAA. There was actually an NCAA for women's volleyball. And so I don't know if you know much history about Penn State volleyball, but Penn State and Stanford are the only two teams that have been in every single postseason volleyball tournament for the NCAA. So I was part of that. So that makes me feel pretty proud. But anyway, so when I was there, we first started, we weren't really in a conference. Then Penn State joined the Big Ten conference for every sport except football. They were then still independent for football. This is before the Big Ten. And when Penn State was part of the Atlantic 10 conference, we won for volleyball, won that every year. And my senior year, I was player of the year in the Atlantic 10
Player
conference.
of the year.
Player of the year, yes.
Wow.
And we won the Atlantic 10 conference. And every year, like I said, we played in the national tournament. Probably finished in the top 20, somewhere around that in the country. Still volleyball was still predominantly a West Coast. It was starting to move to the Midwest, and now Penn State has the most national championships of any team in the country. The volleyball sort of worked its way east, and so now the Big Ten conference is like the premier conference for volleyball, for women's volleyball. So it's sort of cool. And so then after school, after college, I played recreationally for a while, and I ended up coaching high school volleyball in Ohio when my family and I were living in Ohio. I ended up coaching high school junior high for one school, and then high school volleyball for Sydney High School for a couple years, and then our family moved to Florida and coached club here for several different club teams. And then as my kids got older, they were playing club, and I ended up assistant coaching here at Southeast High School with Carmen Garofalo for 4 or 5 seasons, and coached a lot of club volleyball in this area. And just in the last several years have just not really coaching anymore. I'm just, my only involvement in volleyball right now is this broadcasting that we do. My kids are all out of high school. They're all mostly graduated from college, and so I'm liking to spend my time going to visit them now, and because none of them live in this area. So
That's super. That's
Yeah.
great. How many children did you have that played volleyball?
Pardon?
How many children did you have that played volleyball?
I have 3, and they all played here at Southeast, and the one banner that Southeast has up on the wall for district championship volleyball, my middle daughter Tessa was part of that team. So we had 9 years of great volleyball and academics here at Southeast High School. For that, 3 of my girls, Hannah, graduated in 2010, Tess 2012, and Emma in 2015. And I know you had a daughter that played here, and that's how we know each other, is from your daughter playing volleyball here.
Yes, my daughter played on that same team that won that district championship. But
Right.
I just was, to have 3 daughters and every one of them playing volleyball on a high level, not just a club level. They played at a very high level. So I think that's just wonderful. Obviously, that's I attribute that to you, not only being a parent but coaching them as well.
Right.
Wow,
Well,
that's wonderful.
Yes, they all really wanted to play volleyball. I tried to expose them to a bunch of different sports because I played some different sports in high school. I played basketball, and I loved playing basketball. So I tried to introduce them to different sports, but I think because I coached and my husband, Chuck, coached, we spent a lot of time in the gym. They were in the gym all the time from the time they were really little around volleyball. So
I
they all
actually
really loved
remember
it.
your youngest
Yeah.
running around as maybe an 8, 9-year-old, I don't know, but pretty young on the volleyball court.
Right.
So, yeah,
Right.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, long before she played volleyball here at Southeast, she was the towel girl who was running around wiping up wet spots on the floor for the players who fell down, or if it was raining outside or the air conditioning was sweating, or for whatever reason the floor was wet. She was our towel girl, so
So it's been a history of volleyball for your whole family.
it has.
And again, your husband has been coaching also, as you
Right.
said, right?
Right, he's coached a bunch of years of club volleyball and high school volleyball. And yeah, it's and even within my family and my siblings, I have 5 sisters and 4 of them play. I have 4 sisters and 3 of them played volleyball. One actually also played for Penn State. My sister Lisa, who's 3 years younger than me, also played for Penn State. So we played together for a little while in college.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Well, we got a history of volleyball in the Barges family here, or not the Barges family.
Yeah.
Your original name
my
was?
Leap, L-E-A-P, which
Yeah.
everybody just loved me being a volleyball player with that last name.
I can imagine.
Yes.
Okay, I kind of want to get a few things out of the way. One of the things I want to do is we're going to be they're going to be introducing the players and all that up here. But what I'd like to do is kind of go through and give our viewers a chance to find out exactly who's who. And so I'm going to start with Palmetto. Palmetto has a record of 2-7, I believe is their actual record. It said 1-8. But I want to go through that, and I want to talk about the players themselves. They have one senior on the team right now, and that's Madison Waldo. She's number 1, and she's a captain. The other captain is number 14, Ambria Rankin, and she's just a junior. So those are the 2 captains and the 2 top players for them. Number 2 is Mackenzie Lang, a junior. Number 3 is Alexa Beauchamp, freshman. Number 4 is Kaylee Light, sophomore. Number 5 is Courtney Waldo, a freshman also. And number 6 is Tyler Bryant, a sophomore. Number 7, Jade Fayed, a sophomore. Number 11, Kylie Fayed, a sophomore also. The team head coach is Tammy Stitton, and I believe Ashley Rios is helping out, assisting in that. But they've been doing a very good job over the years. I think they're a little down this year. I don't know why it is, but they, as the year goes on, they seem to be getting better and better. Maybe you could introduce our viewers to Southeast roster and coaches.
Okay, well, I can see that on the monitor we're watching Southeast warm-ups right now, so maybe you can see some of these numbers as part of the warm-up. We have number 4, Ambrielle Jones, who's a senior, and she's also a captain. Number 5, Maxine Maldonado, sorry, a captain, and she's also a senior. We have number 6, Tyra Perkins, also a senior captain. Number 9, Brooke Washington, who is a junior captain. Number 10, Reagan Cole, a sophomore. Number 8, Whitney McDonald, also a sophomore. Number 12, Shailene Holt, a senior. Number 13, Sarah Harrison, a senior. Number 14, Danielle Marler, a sophomore. Number 15, Jatori Freeman, a freshman. And number 3, Tasha Williams, a sophomore.
I believe Tasha was just brought up today from the JV squad. And the reason why is because Deja Johnson, who is a senior, is out, and it's been a big part of the volleyball team, but she's out. She's very sick right now. So our best wishes to her, and hopefully she can get better.
Yes, this Southeast team has a lot of seniors. They have 6 seniors on the team, so some experience there. And then 4 sophomores, so it should be interesting to see. That you would think that they might have an advantage over Palmetto in that way, that they have some girls who have played together for a while. The Southeast is coached by Denise Schultz. This is her 3rd year as head coach. Her assistants are Buddy Jones and Doug Marler. This is Buddy's 2nd year and Doug's 1st year assisting at Southeast.
Wonderful, wonderful. Southeast is, I want to talk a little bit about a couple of the seniors there in Southeast. I know Tyra Perkins, who's played several sports here, and like most people, Palmetto and Southeast are quite alike. And I think you mentioned it already, but that they play multiple sports. That it's they're not big schools. They're 6A schools now, but that's the same as 4A a couple of years ago. And they take and really have the same people who play multiple sports, which is just, I think, is wonderful. Gives them a much more rounded education.
Right.
Tyra Perkins is a senior, and one of the sweetest girls I know. She's hopefully going to school, and she wants to study dentistry. And I just think, gosh, how many people do you know who are in high school who already have planned out the fact that they want to do something like study dentistry?
Right, really.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I know Ambrielle is also a senior. Ambrielle Jones, her father is a JV coach, and she's been playing multiple sports also. Done a wonderful job for everybody, including softball. And she plans on going to college, but she's not really sure about what she wants to do. And that, to me, would be something that would be like me. As a senior in high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Me either.
Sarah Harrison. Now, here's the opposite of that. Sarah Harrison has definite plans. She wants to do her first 2 years at the SCF, Southern State College of Florida, and then wants to go to USF and become a Bull for the next 2 years up in Tampa. So she has a great idea of what she wants to do. I talked with Maxine Maldonado, and who's another senior, and she wants to get into physical therapy. No matter where she goes to school, she's going to get into it. She wants to be a physical therapy major. So I think that's wonderful. We also have Shailene Holt, and talking with Shailene, she's going to go to school. She's going to go to college. As to what she's going to do, she's not quite sure, but she's going to do something really good in the years to come. Shailene is also a star on the softball team, so we got that going for us too. And that kind of is everybody on the team, but it's so exciting to see these girls because this is their last televised game right here, and they'll be moving on to the next sport, either basketball or softball or touch football.
Right, a lot of kids play soccer, I think.
Yep,
a lot
soccer.
of these kids play soccer, so, and weightlifting, I think is coming up.
Weightlifting's big with several of them, yep,
Right.
absolutely. So this is an exciting night for me to see their last volleyball game. And if you remember back, if our viewers remember back when they were a senior in high school, if some of them can, and realize just how exciting it was. You have your whole life in front of you, and you got a chance to do just about anything. So that's really exciting for them.
It is. Well, if the audience hasn't noticed, that the energy in the gym has picked up. The pep band is here for Southeast, playing in the background. So the energy in the gym has definitely picked up, and it's gotten a lot louder in here. So it looks like we're down under 2 minutes till the start of the game now.
I'd say it's 1 minute and 30 seconds. I don't know.
Okay,
Okay.
very precise.
What they're going to do now is they're going to take and introduce probably the girls. And usually what they do is they have each one who's had anybody who takes and has a relative or a friend who's had breast cancer, they take and talk about that. So I don't know if they're going to do that tonight, but that's what they've done in past years. Okay. We have a silent auction going on here. We also have an auction going on where people bought tickets for different things. And I just happen to have bought a couple tickets.
Oh, you bought a lot of them.
I bought a few tickets.
All right.
So one of the things you can help me do, besides watch my back when the volleyball goes right up my head, is to take and make sure one of my tickets wins. So we gotta have to catch it. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's talk a little bit about exactly what it takes to win in volleyball. I'm not really. You've been playing volleyball forever, and I played like in a gym and co-ed or whatever, and never really. I don't know as much as you do, certainly, about volleyball. So maybe you can enlighten me and at the same time our viewers. When you're talking about passing, setting, and a kill, and sometimes they take and setter might just put it over on the second one rather than wait for the kill. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that. Why would you do that? When would you do that?
Well, I think at the level of volleyball that we'll see tonight, and almost really every level of volleyball, a lot of times it comes down to a serve and serve-receive game. Because if you can't get the ball over then or serve consistently, or if you have a really tough serve, it can really make a difference in the game. And then at the same hand, if you can't take the first ball on serve receive and pass the ball up to where you can do something with it, never gives a strong hitter a chance to hit it. And in fact, I watched some high-level college volleyball in the last couple weeks. They're playing now, and you still see the same thing at that level. You're seeing that the teams that serve more consistently and pass, serve, receive more consistently are the teams that win. Even if you have these big, powerful hitters, if you can't get the ball to them, then you can't do it.
So if you were a viewer tonight, we're going to hold up just for the national anthem. Well, that was a rousing rendition of the national anthem there.
So it looks like a Palmetto student was the one who sang the national anthem.
It was, in these days and times with all the NFL and all that, with people kneeling down, which is whatever, but it's just great to hear. Not everybody in this gym took and stood up and was watching the flag. So that was wonderful to see. We've had such problems in the United States, especially in Las Vegas, happening yesterday.
Yeah, terrible.
I mean, 500 people wounded. I mean, forget the 58 people, 59 people killed. An extra 500 were wounded.
Right.
I mean, that's just blows my mind to even think about something like that.
That's a very sad situation. Very sad.
So while Southeast is in District 10, by the way, they're 6A District 10. In their district, they play Bayshore, Boca Ciega, Lakewood, St. Pete, and Gibbs. Palmetto is in I believe 7A, and they play a lot of other different teams.
Right.
But the competition between Southeast and Palmetto is really very close because they really are talking about the same kind of people.
Right.
The people that go to Southeast could go to Palmetto and there have been several people who've transferred from school to school. So there really is the same kind of people that go to both schools.
Right. I think that, like I said before, you get girls mostly on these volleyball teams who volleyball isn't their number one sport. It's sort of their auxiliary sport. So you may have one or two girls who play all year round, but most girls are multi-sport athletes, and so they may dedicate, more time to another sport. So maybe not quite as skilled as some of the other teams in their district or in the county. And
who should we be looking for towards on the Southeast team tonight?
Well, I think the seniors are always going to be some of your core players because they've, I think several of these seniors, I know at least three that I know, the three captains who are seniors have played volleyball for 4 years. So they're getting a lot more experienced. And also some of those girls are playing club volleyball now, playing out of season volleyball.
But also what I think is interesting is you have a junior there in Danielle Marler, who is probably the tallest girl on the court.
Right.
And then you got Jatori. Jatori is a freshman, I believe, right? Number 15?
Yes, she's a freshman. And I think Danielle's a sophomore.
Oh, is she?
She's a sophomore, yes, because I remember seeing her last year as a freshman, and I was like, this girl has some good skills for a freshman. So
I think you're absolutely right. There's our first serve.
Not quite ready at the net there. You need to be ready to move quickly along the net there and take that ball that's over power is a great serve. That's what you're looking for the team to make a mistake and hit it up close to the net like that so you can take advantage of it.
And that was a good looking serve. Back to
it's hard to tell who's serving for Palmetto since we can't see their numbers and we're not as familiar with those girls.
Even worse than that, she's number 10 and I don't have number 10 down here. Tyra Perkins on
there
the
we
kill.
go. Looked like a touch on that. Oh, I thought there was a touch on that block there, but maybe not.
Touch not called.
Okay.
Early lead goes to Palmetto, 2-0.
Well, there was some nice ball control there by Southeast. They were able to set it up, and Tyra got a good swing.
Danielle tried to a little kill from beyond the 10-foot line and didn't work out.
It's good. I'm glad to see Southeast being aggressive that way. I think the last game we were at, I didn't really see any attacks from the back row. So they're trying some new things.
And a nice kill.
Nice kill, but also somebody was in the net for Southeast. It was a net call.
That was Ambria Rankin, number 14, who drove that ball down to the other side. 4-0 Palmetto. And it's in.
Oh, they called that ball in. That ball really dropped at the end. I thought that was going out too. It looked like it was sailing out, but then it sort of.
Wasn't there a way you should kind of stand close to that line so you have a good idea where that line is?
Yeah. Well, I think you follow the ball the way of the line, which they pretty much did, but it seemed like it dropped right there at the last second. There's a nice pass.
And there we go.
Palmetto was ready for that tricky dump there.
Up in the rafters.
Yep, it hit off the rafters. You can play that ball as long as it stays on your side of the court. Oh, there's a nice shot
there's
into
a
the
kill.
corner. Okay, nice placement by Tyra.
Tyra Perkins on a beautiful kill, finally getting a point on board for Southeast. Now that brings the score to 5-1 and, of course, gives the serve to Southeast.
Right, Tyra really gets up there. You can tell that, she's up there over the block. So as long as she hits the ball down.
So she's got the
It's an
kill and
angle.
she's going back to serve. Regan Cole put one over and then it was knocked out by Palmetto. And so Tyra's going back to serve again. Trying to narrow the gap here, 5-2. Good serve. And falls in. Now, you don't call that an ace, right, or do you?
No, if the second ball isn't playable, like after off the first hit, that would be called an ace, but that was an error on the second contact.
Another deep serve, beautiful serve.
No,
And
it was
a
a
great
block.
by Regan and Jatori.
Some tall girls up there.
Well, that's just wonderful. We got a sophomore and a freshman up there on the front, on the net, and blocking.
Putting a big block up there. Both they get up nice and high.
Another deep serve. Pushed over.
A little bit tight on the set there that made it a difficult angle for the outside hitter to hit that ball.
She was trying to set that backwards. She was facing the wall when she tried to make that set.
Right. So a good thing to do when you're setting the ball out of system where the ball's not passed to the setter. So the setter's not the person setting the ball. This is set a little bit off the net for that hitter, and so the hitter might not get a full swing at the ball, but they can have more time to get around the ball and keep the ball in front of them and keep the ball in the court.
We can call back to serve.
That's a smart play.
Little dive on the floor, ends up in being a point. But
Right, that was a nice dig by Brooke Washington, one of the captains, and she didn't. I don't think she tried to put it over the net, but in the emergency play, it went over the net, and Palmetto wasn't ready for that.
Regan serves it out. The serve for Palmetto was Alexa Beauchamp, number 9, a freshman. Good serve there. And Jatori gets a kill. Look at that.
Score's tied 7-7. Southeast pulls back into the game.
Back to serve for Southeast is Maxine Maldonado. Way deep serve. And into the net. So Southeast takes a lead for the first time tonight, 8-7. Back to serve again, Maxine. Another strong, a little too strong.
A little bit too much on that. So Maxine comes in for Southeast to play back row and to set. So she'll set out of the back row, which gives them 3 hitters in the front row. Right now we have Brooke Washington. Let's see. Whitney McDonald and Danielle Marler in the front row, able to set up to hit the ball. The key to that is to get a good pass so that you can set one of those girls.
Well, just like you were saying at the start, it all starts with the pass.
Right.
And a long serve by number 14, Ambria Rankin. Back to serve for Southeast is Danielle Marler. Nice jump serve. Very deep. And Bria throws it over. Ooh.
The ball got a little bit behind her, and so she couldn't really hit down on the ball. She hit behind the ball or behind her body, and the ball went sailing up instead of down.
So if you set that right in front, that's the perfect set, right? And
right.
If it's behind you.
Well, and it's not just the set, but the approach to the set. You need to make your approach so that when you're jumping, you're behind the ball.
Little finesse pass over there, and that's going to be out.
That's a kill. A kill by Brooke Washington, even though it was she didn't jump and hit that ball. She overhead hit that ball, and they weren't able to handle it, so that's considered a kill.
Back into the game, Regan Cole. Whitney McDonald's sitting down for a little bit. Well, we got a second here. I noticed a down referee. What do you think he's checking right now?
Looks like he's checking his lineup card. He keeps track of who's coming in and out of the game also. So he must have missed one of his substitutions maybe.
Gabrielle serves. And a free ball.
Oh, nice touch by Palmetto there, but also a very nice kill by Tyra Perkins, and that's not her first of the night.
No, it's not. I know the last time Palmetto played here, or played Southeast, Tyra was the leader in kills. Whoa. Now, why would she try to hit that that hard from that far back?
You know, if you can get the ball in front of you and get a good approach at the ball, you can still hit that ball in the court and hit down. It just depends on your level of ball control and experience.
That was Courtney Waldo,
right.
Just a freshman. Nice save. Okay.
We should call it a double contact on the second hit for Palmetto, which is illegal if you hit it with two different hands. The same player for the same contact.
It's very difficult not to. And out.
Yeah, it almost looks like they're mostly setting out their team in the back row. I don't know if they're choosing because they're not really passing the ball up to the net all that accurately. So instead of, or maybe their better hitters are in the back row, so they're trying to utilize them.
And into the game for Southeast is Shaylin Colt. Shaylin, number 12. Little push over, got a free ball. Now we're looking for that good set.
Yeah. So if you see Tyra, one thing that she could improve on is that she's starting her approach like 5 foot off the net. So if she backs off the net a little bit more as the setter's setting the ball, then she'll be able to approach and keep the ball in front of her. Right now when she's already almost to the net. And so she's almost going backwards to hit the ball.
To get the ball.
And luckily she can jump really well, and she can still jump and hit that ball because she's a good jumper. She was there for that,
just a touch
couldn't
late.
Pop it up.
Just a touch late. Well, Southeast is taking the lead 15 to 10. There's a replay on that one, and we're going to watch Maxine diving for it. You know, people say, and the serve is out. You know, people talk about volleyball, and when I was playing volleyball in the gym when I was in high school, it was like nobody got hurt at all. When I see these girls play out here, I mean, I've seen ACLs gone, I've seen a broken leg, I've seen so many things happen.
Shoulder.
Yep. I see so many things happen. So volleyball, if the viewers who Not quite. Good try. If they don't realize this, let me tell you, that floor is not forgiving.
No.
When you hit that floor, it hits back.
And that's what you spend a good deal of time on at practice, is learning how to go to the floor without hurting yourself, and so that you're extending your body as far as you can, but at the same time falling in a way that's not going to hurt you. Although it still does really hurt.
Little action at the net.
So Southeast is running an offense called a 6-2, where they have two setters who come out of the back row and sets. And right now, number 9, Brooke Washington, is setting from the back row, and Brooke stays in the front row and is a hitter in the front row.
And you can do that.
Yes, and I mentioned before that Maxine Maldonado is their other setter, who's a shorter player who comes out when she's in the front row, and coach will put a taller player in the front row for her to hit.
Got a timeout for Southeast, and I think it's a pretty good timeout with Southeast leading 16-14. They were up 15-10,
I think coach can feel the momentum shifting a little bit. Southeast had some momentum there. They pulled ahead. Was it 15-10? Now she can feel it shifting a little bit. So it's a good time to call timeout, just sort of regroup and see if you can shift that momentum back in your direction.
And volleyball is a game of momentum, right?
Oh, it definitely is. It's so much of so many times. A player will be on a roll serving, several in a row, and the coach will call a timeout and just sort of breaks that concentration. And that's one thing you work on a lot of practices, serving after timeouts, doing things after a timeout, because it's so common for a coach to call a timeout to try to break the rhythm of a server. Let's see how a Palmetto player does with this. She pulls through there with the serve. Actually a very tough serve. She served right where the setter was coming from.
A little late on that.
Right.
That's Mackenzie Lang. Just a little mistiming.
The Palmetto, which is a good tactic, is that she served right at the spot in the back row where our setter is coming from. And actually usually you don't want the setter to pass that ball, but it came right at her and she passed it. So then it totally changes the offense for Southeast, because then they have somebody setting the ball who you don't want to set the ball.
We got 2 hits on Palmetto, so that point goes to Southeast, and Tyra Perkins back to serve again. Oh, nice. Was that Regan or was that Victoria? I can't even see
that
over there.
That was Regan.
Okay.
Regan Cole, the sophomore. I like her too. She gets up there. Has a tall front row right now. We got 3 girls with some good height and girls that can jump. So, and they're ready up there. You can see they're ready for that ball to come back over, as Regan was there on that first hit. She went up and a good serve that made the other team overpass, and Regan was ready and hit that ball. There, Danielle just didn't get on top of the ball there. Nice approach, but just too far behind the ball.
Yeah, she looked like she was a little behind it, right?
Yeah.
Not quite. That pass was...
it was a nice pass. It was a nice pass, and she actually handled it really well, but I think, and she could have set that ball. She was trying, I think, to dump the ball over the net to try to catch the other team off guard, but just wasn't able to pull that off. So
it looks like out.
It was just out. I thought that might be in. That was a nice play.
Well, what's happened now is that the score is getting closer and closer. It's 19-17 Southeast right now, but Palmetto has the serve. Good deep serve. And into the net. 1-point game, 19-18. Back to serve for Palmetto is Kaylee Light. sophomore.
So one thing you want to do when the ball is hit off the court like that and you're running to bring the ball back in the court is a good move is to just bring it back into the middle of the court where somebody can make a good play on the ball. If you try to be too perfect and put it right at the net for somebody to hit at it, just sometimes it's really at odd angles and everything. It's hard for a player to make a hit on that ball. So good tactic is just bring it back in the middle of the court where somebody might be able to make a better play on it.
Megan Cole back to serve. Nice deep serve. Looks like a free ball. Nope.
Those balls that are tight to the net, a lot of times the setter can jump and set that ball and keep it in play. Right now, Southeast is having a bit of a hard time passing the ball. They do better if they pass the ball off the net a little bit for these setters. There we go. That's what they like. Put it up there and then down. That's a nice play.
That's the first time tonight I saw a great pass, a great set, and a great kill.
Right.
They
Danielle.
put it all together.
Yep. Nice big approach on that ball. Kept the ball in front of her. Here we see on the replay we had a nice pass in a place where the setter feels comfortable setting the ball. And then Danielle gets behind it and puts it down cross court. So when Danielle as a sophomore is going up and taking some nice swings at the ball, you can see that she definitely likes the ball tighter to the net. Gets a little more difficult to hit the ball if you're off the net some, and so that's a skill that it takes some time to learn.
Especially if you're back there by the 10-foot line, it's
right.
like.
Oh, and you need as a player to learn when to take a big swing at the ball and when to take something off of it.
Good save by Sarah.
Again off the net. There she goes. Yeah.
And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right?
Sometimes those are the best ones. That was a nice aggressive move, and when you're aggressive, I think good things happen. So it's good that they're keeping their aggression there.
And we're seeing it on the replay right now. Nice serve right into the net, but right over the top of the tape. And back to serve is Danielle Marler. Danielle, nice deep serve. That was
right back at him.
That's a great kill.
With number 6 from
that's Tyler
Palmetto.
Bryant. Tyler Bryant, a sophomore. Yeah, it's tough without all the numbers here. We apologize to our viewers. Now a set. Oh, puts it over. And a little out, a little bit strong on that one.
Right. Again, you can see most of the balls that the girls are hitting out on both teams tonight. It's because the ball is behind them when they're going. They're not keeping the ball in front of them when they go to hit it.
Well, right now, every point is important here. 23-22 for Southeast. Good serve by Ambrielle. Put it where they are.
Nice place on the court, and that spot in the middle of the court is often a good place to go because you have a lot of girls coming together there and not always sure whose ball it is.
Good save.
A nice set.
That's good. It's still on. Still alive. One of the longest volleys here.
Getting a lot of passing going on here. So both teams are a little nervous about making a mistake usually. It's a team that is more aggressive in one of these volleys that ends up winning one of these volleys.
And down to Tyler. Okay, Tyler. Oh, watch it. Good point.
That was a nice one. That's a nice one to win when you have one of those long volleys.
Especially
really
when it's the 24th point.
Right. It really gives you that momentum that we were talking about.
So Brooks back to serve for the game. Remember, you have to win by 2 in volleyball, and she can do it right here. And into the net. Nice looking serve, just a little short. Ties it up, 24-24. Now, how important is that first game of the set? I mean, is this...
It's very important. It's a big momentum deal breaker. If you lose that first game, a lot of times it is a match, but it's not impossible to overcome. You see it happen all the time. So, especially in close matches like this, where both teams are so evenly matched, I feel like almost every game could go almost any way.
Oh, we got a net violation.
So she called a lift, I think.
Did she call a lift?
She might have called
Okay.
a carry on that ball over.
I think they could have gone either way. I saw
Right,
the net
right.
move too. Okay, now we're in the same situation. Back to serve for the game, for the first game, number 6, Tyra Perkins. Tyra gets it over. And a miss hit, and that's the game.
That's game.
Wow.
Yeah. So as we predicted, that was a close game. I think we might be seeing all 3 of possibly 5 games being close.
And after the first game, the score is 1-0. We'll be right back after this important public service announcement. You're watching SCTV Sports on SEH TV.
We're back.
Well, I know, and I'm glad we're back. Well, what an exciting night here at the Southeast Gym. We ever get a picture of Tyra Perkins' father? He comes up. He is so cool. Comes up all dressed for this game. He's got Southeast shorts, cowboy hat, and of course the pink shirt.
Yeah.
And some great-looking socks.
He has a lot of spirit, that's for sure.
And he instills so much spirit into the team too. So. Great dancer, just goes up and down, gets
and
the
always
crowd
really
off.
positive.
Always positive.
Very positive. Yes.
Keeps the crowd in it. Wow. Okay, Marcy. While we're waiting for
754. They're
just
calling
remember, your job is to check these tickets.
I'm watching to
make sure, because last year I won something.
You won something, but you missed it because we were announcing.
This year, if I win, we're going to go there. Maybe you could explain to our viewers and listeners what an attack is. Now, you have a front row attack, a back row attack. What do they mean when they say attack?
Well, attack could be actually on the first contact, second contact, or third contact. It's when somebody is up in the air, hitting down on the ball, basically.
Okay.
So when there's an attack on the first contact, sometimes a setter will be in the front row, and you'll see, especially left-handed setters, coming up and hitting the ball by surprise because people are expecting them to set the ball. And then you'll have where the setter will set the hitter in the back row. A back row attack is when a player whose position is in the back row at the start of the serve can jump behind the 10-foot line. They can They can land in front of the 10-foot line, but they have to take off behind the 10-foot line and hit the ball. And you know, at any level of volleyball, that can be really useful, and especially in the higher level men's and women's games, people hitting out of the back row is almost not much different than people hitting out of the front row a lot of times. In fact, it could be harder to block because it's harder to judge when somebody's taken off from that far back from the net. It's harder to judge when to jump. Also, even when somebody goes up and instead of swinging hard at the ball, actually tips the ball, that's still called an attack because you're trying to place the ball somewhere on the court. You're using that hit on the ball to attack your opponent, trying to put the ball somewhere that they're not.
Well, if you keep telling me all this, I'm going to eventually learn something about volleyball.
Yeah, I know you know a lot about volleyball. You've been around it for a bunch of years, so. Well, the game does change though too, because back when I played in high school, we played
way
back when we played. A bunch of the rules were different, and probably a lot of people still don't realize how some of the rules have changed. That, if the ball hits the net now on a serve, it used to be that was considered out. Now it can hit the ball. The serve can hit the net, and it's still a playable ball. Now there's things like that. You used to have to serve in a certain position off the back row. Now you can serve anywhere along the back line. You can move anywhere along the back line to serve. So there's things about the game that have changed, but the main premise is the same.
Well, the second game is getting close to starting. I don't know what's going on as far as, but I think they're getting organized. But back to serve for Palmetto is Andrea Rankin. Remember, a co-captain and only a junior. So she's still going to be here next year. So when we have Volley for the Cure, if we play Palmetto again next year, she'll be there too.
Okay. I remember her from the last game. She had a nice, strong serve. She served from pretty far back, but she still hit the ball a long way. There we go. Oh, a little miscommunication there. One thing I noticed different, the other game that we broadcast this year was Southeast against Dunedin. And one thing that we saw with Dunedin is they had a couple players who had very difficult serves, and Southeast was having a hard time receiving that ball. It seems like between these two teams, the serving is much more even.
Right.
So both teams are, there's nobody that has like a really overpowering serve. And so you're not seeing that happen tonight. Not yet, anyway.
Serving for Southeast and getting an ace is Ambrielle Jones. Very strong serve. Obviously going to a particular position on the court. And remember, our viewers may not understand the different positions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I think the coaches usually call exactly where they want that serve to go.
Right. I think there's different reasons for serving different spots. You may be trying to serve a weak passer. You might be trying to serve a spot where nobody is on the court. You might be trying to serve a spot to make a player move so that they can't get a good attack on the ball. Again, we're seeing a lot of the same errors made over and over again by both teams, where they'll keep hitting the ball long or making a bad pass, but both teams make this similar errors.
Ooh, good set. Little short. Now, she purposely set that backwards, right?
Right. It looked to me like she did, yeah. I think that she probably has a lot of confidence in the player that she set it to be able to hit that ball over with an overhead attack.
Back to serve for Southeast, Maxine Maldonado. And a good serve, and
nice play on the second.
Good save.
There.
A lot of nice net play here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Oh, good save. That's a good point. Nice block.
Nice.
Oh, it's still in
Did,
play.
yeah.
You're seeing good play. And, my gosh, whoa.
A nice play.
That was a great kill by Danielle
It was.
Marler, but that whole point was just well played by both teams.
Right, and some nice saves on both sides. Here we go.
We're going to watch it on a replay. This is a long, we'll see in the end of it.
Right, and what you can't see on replay is that the ball hit the ceiling and came back at a different angle and velocity than Palmetto expected it. So it was a hard ball for them to play on the next hit. One thing that Southeast is doing very well right now is when they are getting blocked, there's somebody there to cover that, and when the ball hits the block, you can play it again and you have 3 hits. So they've been several times they've gotten blocked and been able to keep the play going.
Palmetto won that point on a double hit. And back to serve is Madison Walville, co-captain. Oh, that was in, right in the corner.
That was Brooke Washington, our junior who's playing front row and back row, setting in the back row, and also can hit the ball like that in the front row.
Well, if you did that consistently, you could play anywhere. Back to serve again, Danielle Marler, number 14. Good ace. Right, put it right where they weren't, right where you were talking about before, right in the middle there.
Right in a good spot where nobody is in a lot of times if you see there's a player in the middle front right now, sort of aim it like right towards her head. It's sort of hard to know if she's going to take it or if the person behind her should take it. Here we have a hit out of the back row for Southeast.
That was Ambrielle Jones. I'm seeing a lot better play right now. Oh, little long. Tried to duplicate that. I think that was Brooke, right?
Yeah, that was Brooke.
Okay.
But it's one thing you're seeing with Southeast right now is they have good ball control, and they're able to take a bunch of swings at the ball.
And you just got to keep swinging, right?
Right. And learn from your mistakes, though. And you got to realize which ones you can take a big swing on and which ones you need to hold up a little bit and just keep the ball in play. Doesn't mean you can't swing on it, just means you need to place it somewhere instead of going up and swinging as hard as you can. That was a good idea. Taking the ball on a second contact like that and hitting it catches the other team off guard, which she did, but unfortunately it was out of bounds.
But she also saw that it was open on that side, so she went for it.
It's a good idea. That was a nice pass.
Ooh. This girl is set well before. 2 hits.
Called double contact on the setter.
Discussing with the linesman something. I know the linesman really, there's only 3 calls they make, right?
Right.
In, out, and touch.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Also tried to do more of a jump, harder top spin serve. Didn't quite work out for her.
Yeah. Saw that flag go up when it was about 3/4 of the way, but everybody knew it was going to go out.
Yeah. Oh, nice play. Oh,
almost,
good try. She almost had that.
Great serve. Wow, here we go again. First game, pretty tight. Southeast wins it with the last point. Right now it's 7-7 and another exciting game. Good serve, strong serve. Gonna get a free ball.
Nice swing.
Still alive. Oh.
little bit of miscommunication there.
Well,
Good reaction.
I actually understand that
Yeah.
miscommunication.
Not unusual to happen in volleyball.
Ooh, nice ace.
In fact, you know, you even see those kind of things happen even in like pro baseball. Every once in a while, you know, you'll see that between two outfielders
sure.
where they're trying to, and one, they're both calling it, or
But that drives coaches crazy.
Oh, yeah,
That drives coaches in volleyball and baseball and wherever else
Yeah.
crazy.
but it happens even at the highest levels. It's amazing sometimes. There,
Oh, a little long.
It's a little bit long, but nice swing.
Good swing, just a little long. Coming in for Madison is Mackenzie Lang. And short on the serve. That's embarrassing. You know, there's no reason that could happen to anybody, but here poor Jade knocks it in there, and then you feel like everybody's watching you, which they are. There's
Yeah.
just nowhere to hide
No,
out
there
there.
isn't. No.
Back to serve for Southeast. Tyra Perkins again. Seems like she serves every other time. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But she put it. Now that's location, right? Is that correct?
Well, yeah. I'm not sure if the coach told her where to put it there or not, but that was a great location for her to put it. She, one thing I noticed about Tyra is, and I'll probably jinx her here, but she's very consistent in her serve. She doesn't miss a lot of serves.
Well, that went to what, number 5, I think.
Mm-hmm. It went to left back.
And
So.
I know that, and we're going to see a
we'll
replay
see.
on that. So let's check it out. There's the serve,
Yeah, there we go. A
and
little bit between the left front and left back players, so they weren't. The left back player thought the left front player was going to get it, and then she moved sort of out of the way in the last second.
everybody's trying to either hit it long or hit it right at that baseline
Right.
or right up front. But that middle seems to be the spot where is the weakest for everybody.
A lot of time is spent in practice learning how to cover on the serve, but it's still a very difficult skill, and it requires a lot of coordination between the whole team. And, you know, when you see sand volleyball, and mostly that's played by two people on this court at the same time. Communication isn't as much of a problem because it's just two people trying to coordinate everything that's going on. So you don't see as much of that actually.
Oh,
nice
good block. Good block by Mackenzie Lang, number 2.
And number 4, Kaylee Light, was also in on
She
that
was
block
there,
too.
yep.
Yes. Nice play by both of those girls.
Back to serve, Ambria. I think she's the other girl. She serves only for Palmetto, and Tyra serves just for Southeast. There's no other servers, right, in the whole game?
They seem to be back there all the time. Whoa, there's a
hits
tough
the
serve.
tape
That's
and drops in for an ace.
There's one of those serves that when I was in high school would have been out of bounds because it hit the tape. But now you can play those balls. And you know, I was part of that transition too, where all of a sudden you were allowed to play those balls, and that's hard to learn. You know, when you've been playing it your whole life,
Yep.
and all of a sudden those are fair game.
Nice save serve back there.
Nice
Danielle.
adjustment.
Ooh.
Oh, and nice dig.
Ooh. Good move. Trying to put that middle in there. Wow, good action, good action. Tossing it back over, trying to get that set, and there it is.
Ah, nice
Little
spot
dink.
there.
Little
Nice
dink.
spot. Very smart. It's nice to see that in that volley. Southeast sent 3 different girls, 3 different attackers on a ball. 3 of them swung at the ball pretty good, and then Danielle went up and the smart took something off the ball and put it someplace where somebody wasn't. So
In the game for Southeast is Sarah Harrison, number 13. And we got a couple hits there.
yeah, called a double contact on the setter on the set there. That puts Southeast up 13-10 now. See if they can keep building on this.
So you should try to keep your hands together? Is that what's happening?
Right. So if they're not even, then you hit the ball you're not hitting the ball with both hands simultaneously, which you could see there that on the first contact, that number 5 for Palmetto didn't hit the ball simultaneously, but that's okay on the first contact. On the first contact, you can have a double contact, but on the second and third contact, they have to be clean.
So did you hear that, viewers? First contact, okay. Second contact, not so much.
Right.
Little serve just out, trying to put it in that one location, and yet they get
looked like it was called in.
Oh, they overcame the linesman.
Right, they must have.
Did. The up referee overturned the call on by the linesman. And it's tough to see, but I've been a linesman, and I know how difficult it can be.
Wow, nice play.
Yep.
That was very nice.
Yep, it's a nice kill by Palmetto. Tightens the score up 15-11.
That was Mackenzie Lang, a junior for Palmetto, who made that kill.
Mackenzie is impressing me, and so is Courtney Waldo.
Nice play. There we go.
You could see that going all the way. See, it kind of looked like she, instead of trying to kill it, she just hurt it a little bit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
She didn't take and put all her strength into it, which caused was still a very, very hard velocity coming at the girl.
But more control. Right.
Much more control.
And she's showing there some different shots, and she had that tip. She's showing a little took something off of that, kept the ball in front of her. Oh, nice defensive play and off the net.
Still going.
And it's still
going.
Still going for Southeast.
Still
nice
going.
Play by Palmetto there. Oh.
Good defensive play.
Mm-hmm. Both teams. Ooh. Off the ceiling.
Still
That's
going.
a nice play.
Oh no!
That was very nice volley, both teams.
Now I did notice that they kept backsetting it to Ambria Rankin.
Mm-hmm.
She did that several times just in that one volley. So what we were talking about before is actually is absolutely true.
Right. Yeah, I think there's some players who have more confidence than others, and they try to keep getting them the ball. Again, just the same thing.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, that was a nice swing, but just out again.
Going to tighten the score back up again. 16-13. Southeast leading by 3. After a good serve, she comes back again. A little safer serve. Oh, tried to do a little too much with it.
She called that ball out. She overruled the line judge again there, but called the ball against Southeast this time, so I guess now they're even.
And I believe Southeast is taking a timeout.
Probably a good time to call a timeout now that Palmetto's
One of the
scored several points in a row.
One of the things you want to do is kind of ice Mackenzie Lang there. Her serve's been looking pretty good.
Right.
Well, since we got a second here too, I'd like to talk about, if you haven't done so, you should like the SCTV Facebook page. You can find it on facebook.com/SEHS Television. Not only will you get reminders and direct links to all the events that Southeast Television broadcasts live, but you will also get notices of other activities that the fine young broadcasters of SCTV are involved in. And while you're at it, share the Facebook link with your friends and family. That's facebook.com/SEH Television. You can also find all the links to our social media accounts and updates about our organization at sctv.news, News. Well, If you haven't done Facebook, you really should. Oh,
That was a great serve. It's hard to serve the ball that short.
do you do that on purpose?
Yes, you can. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's really hard to purposely hit the net, but that's you can serve the ball that short, and it's a great serve.
Since you served that one out, so that keeps that 2-point differential. 17-15 Southeast. Back to serve for Southeast. Danielle Marler. It looks like Palmetto's moving up on in the court, trying to dare her to hit that back line. Good defensive move. Little tip.
Good effort there by Palmetto.
Yep, good effort by them, and it was a good hit by Tyra Perkins on the end.
So maybe Southeast is seeing something here. It's not. I think purposely tried to hit it shorter, and then we saw the tip by Danielle earlier. So maybe there's something there they see they're trying to take advantage of with Palmetto.
It's too bad. It was a good try by everybody.
Mm-hmm. Still 2-point spread here at Southeast leading 18-16.
And we have the down referee checking everything, making sure that everybody's in the right place. Up referee gives a sign to go ahead and serve. Oh,
A nice shot deep in the corner
right in
there.
the corner.
That was a great
Beautiful,
shot.
beautiful placement. And again, they were moving up, so you could see that that
Mhm.
back corners or the back line is open.
Corner shot's always a really good shot to make because it's really hard to judge.
Tried to put it in that one spot, and
that
see,
was-
they're doing it again. They're going to
Right.
that back line. Palmetto was able to get to it.
There, I think the problem there was that we saw the setter dug the first ball, which she needed to do because she's playing defense first. But
So
then
that
there
she
was
can't take
somebody
the second.
right, and somebody else needs to step in and take the second. And I think on the Southeast team, the person that usually does that is the libero, but she happened to be out that play, so which caused some confusion.
And we got a couple hits on that one.
Hey, Palmetto moves within 1 point here.
Yeah, it's just like each of these games.
I think, like we said, they could go either way. Good hustle. Setter having to go a long way there to get that ball. Nice placement.
And she saw it open. She went
Yes,
for it.
she did.
Good
Nice
block.
block.
Yeah, back over. Well, I think these teams have loosened up because they're looking pretty good. Not much you could do with that. A little too far out there.
We got all tied up here.
19-19 in the second game.
Well, we can see a timeout called by Southeast. Again.
Back to serve was Courtney Waldo. When we come back, she'll be serving with a score at 19-19.
And Courtney's only a freshman.
They got some potential.
I know you do some softball coaching, and Palmetto has a good softball team, right? Talented softball team.
In past years they have.
Yeah.
This year, but last year they went down a little bit. But in past years they've had great ones.
Do you know any of these girls from softball? Do many of their volleyball players play softball?
I don't. That
Okay.
doesn't mean they're not there. It's just that I don't know them. I concentrate so much on our girls that
Right.
I don't see them that much.
So there's several of our girls that play softball, huh? It's on the volleyball team?
Yeah, we got two Waldos and we got 2 Fayyads.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, no. You're not going to get it by ranking if she's close to it.
No, you're not. She does a good job. That's good.
Nice try
Good
by
skills.
Maxine, but unfortunately, that brings the score 20-19. Palmetto takes the lead for the first time tonight, and we're going to see it again.
Right.
Again, it was put it really deep.
Nice hustle by Maxine.
Oh,
Ah.
no. Ooh, now we're at that point when you hit that 20 mark point. We're at 21-19 now, where each point becomes very important.
I think Coach for Southeast, Coach Schultz has already used both her timeouts too, so I don't think she has another timeout to sort of slow down the game. The girls are going to have to figure this one out. Let's go ahead and now she's making a substitution. It's a good way to slow the game down for coaches to make a substitution, makes everybody pause for a minute. Slows down the server's rhythm. Didn't face this freshman.
Good set. And that is out.
She's calling it just out. That was a nice swing. It was hard to tell from this angle whether it was in and out. I couldn't really see behind the official.
Yeah, we're at the opposite end. We're not going to be able to see that one.
Palmetto's leading 22-20.
Back to serve, Brooke Washington for Southeast. Good, strong serve.
There
in
we
the
go.
back.
Oh, good hustle.
And again, we saw Palmetto moving up, so hitting it back further is probably a good strategy for Southeast.
Right. That deep serve, there's a lot of communication involved in there too with your teammate, letting them know whether it's in or out, and that's
Another good serve. Whoa, nice defensive move. Oh, if she did that on purpose. That's unbelievable. Oh, right on the net.
nice block there. It's good net play by Southeast. We saw Reagan Cole and Tyra Perkins with a double block there for the 22nd point.
Ooh, good. Hi, we're getting to him. That was a
Free
nice
ball.
serve.
Southeast should be able to take advantage of this.
Let's find out if Tyra. Whoa! It's still alive.
That's still good. Still
Going
good.
over.
Tyra again. Tight to the net.
We got a net.
Call a
Oh,
lift.
we got a
on.
lift. We got a lift.
shoot.
Right.
It was a nice effort. Very nice effort by Ambria Rankin.
What a game. 23-22 in the second game.
Now Palmetto calls a timeout.
Smart timeout. Good time for a timeout for them. They just lost a pretty rough point. You know, we're talking about different serves here. You have, maybe you could explain to our viewers exactly what we mean by a floater or by a spin or all those kind of things with the serve.
Well, the two major types of serve that you see are a floater and a topspin serve. A floater, the ball, when you contact the ball, you're hitting basically directly behind the ball, sort of just popping it, and it causes the ball to sort of float. I guess it's been compared to like a knuckleball where it moves a little bit. A topspin serve, you're hitting more behind and over top the ball to where it puts topspin on the ball, and that ball will drop. Will come over the net quick and then drop, usually in front of a player.
Now, I don't know what that serve was, but that was a heck of a serve.
That looked more like a floater to me.
Yeah.
And then within those two serves, you'll see girls either standing on the floor and hitting the ball or jumping and hitting the ball. Like we see here, she's jumping, so that would be considered a jump floater. She jumped off the ground when she hit the ball, but she hit it right behind, didn't have a lot of spin on it.
Could be it right there.
Really using Tyra a lot in this rotation.
That's
there we
it.
go, that's game.
it.
So what you could see there, you could see Southeast continuing, since they had the ball control, they could continue to set Tyra, who was doing a great job hitting, keep going with the hot hitter, keep setting her, and she got them several of the kills at the end of the game there, and well, basically that's the way they won the game.
And that's exactly the same way as that we won the first game. After this second game, the score is 2-0. 2-0 for Southeast. Remember, it's best 3 out of 5. We'll be right back after this important public service announcement. You're watching SCTV Sports on SEHS TV.
Sometimes I feel useless. People make me question my self-worth. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning. People say things, hurtful things. They call me names. They tell me to kill myself. Sometimes I feel like I can't breathe. I feel so alone.
Kaiser University of Sarasota is once again a business partner of SCTV. This is the 13th year that Kaiser has supported the television production program of Southeast High School. At Kaiser University Sarasota campus, you can get the training you need to pursue a new career in the fields of business, criminal justice, education, healthcare, information technology, law, and much more. They offer associate, bachelor's, and graduate degree programs. Their Sarasota campus also offers a culinary arts and a baking and pastry program. You can find out more about what Kaiser has to offer simply by going to their website at kaiseruniversity.edu. Well, they're having a little, I want to make sure our viewers understand that if we're loud, it's because we're trying to overcome the band, the cheerleaders, and all the fans here.
Right.
And it's not that we just yell like this normally. Okay.
Right. Sometimes it's hard for us to hear each other with all the noise in the background we have here. So talking louder just so that you can hear me.
Exactly.
Right.
Well,
it looks like maybe I'd never noticed it in high school volleyball before, but now it looks like they have a longer time between game 2 and 3 now. And then when you watch a college volleyball game, they actually sort of have like a intermission, I guess you would call it, like they do in basketball when you go to the locker room and stuff in between. They like at halftime of a basketball game, they have that for volleyball now. Although here it looks like they may have gone 3 or 4 minutes instead of the actual normal 2 minutes.
Well, that gives me a chance to say we're pleased to announce that the Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County is providing an array of services at SEHS this year. This program provides after-school academic assistance and one-on-one tutoring for any student needing help. These wonderful programs take place after school at Southeast, free of charge. You should simply contact Southeast High School at 741-3366. Boys and Girls Club, something that one of our girls I know, Shaylin Holt, is very much involved with Boys and Girls Club.
Sounds like a wonderful program.
It absolutely is.
Oh.
Well, while we got a moment too, maybe you can talk to me a little bit about the different ways to hit the ball. And I always wanted to know this. You got a bump? I don't know what that is,
right.
Or So tell our viewers exactly what all these hits are.
So if I use the term bump the ball or forearm pass the ball, I mean you're hitting the ball off your forearms. So that the more correct term for that is to say the forearm passing the ball, but it's been known for years to be called bumping. So that an overhead pass is a set. Yeah, it's an overhead pass. You're contacting the ball over your head with your fingers spread apart, above your head, and that's also called setting. So those are the two, then there's attack where you're going up and placing the ball somewhere on the other team's side. You either hit it hard or you could tip the ball as an attack into an open spot on the court.
We've heard the referees call 2 hits quite often tonight.
Right.
So when you're going up with both hands and you got your fingers spread apart, is
Right.
that correct? And is I'm hitting it one after
Right,
another?
you're not hitting the ball with both hands at the same time. So to do that correctly, you need to touch the ball simultaneously with both hands. A lot of times the referee's looking for any kind of little spin on the ball. They're listening for that double contact, but they're also looking if there's some kind of spin on the ball. That's a clue to them that you didn't hit it with both hands at the same time. So but like I said before, on the first contact you'll see now there are a lot of hard driven balls girls will play overhand with 2 hands and they're contacting them with 2 different contacts. And that's perfectly legal now.
Well, Brooks started off with a great serve, but
Right. We're going right back to Tyler, the hot hitter, where they ended up at the first game. Now back row. Oh. She took off behind the 10-foot line, so I'm not sure.
what's that? What is that signal? Do you know?
She's asking for a captain.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what that was.
Coach
for.
is asking for a clarification on what that ruling was. And
I'm not sure what that was. It looked to me like she took off behind the 10-foot line, so not sure.
well, it's a judgment call. We got a point for Palmetto because of
she was out. They were out of rotation. Before the ball is served, each player needs to be in their rotational order on the court. And so right now,
like
they were saying that they were out of rotational order when the ball was served. Looks like they've straightened that out. Up off the ceiling, nice reaction by Danielle.
Oh yeah!
Looks like Palmetto's playing pretty darn good defense.
Very great shot. That was by Ambria Rankin, who shot that ball into that open spot on the court, and she had tried that earlier in the game, and Southeast was able to dig that ball, but that was great.
Ambria's been all over the court tonight for Palmetto.
She has very good ball control, and she sees the other side of the court really well. Palmetto's out to a good start here, 3-0 in the third set.
Well, I don't want to say anything, but whoa!
Oh yeah!
Also. And out. Point to Southeast. I will point out that the last game was pretty much the same thing. Palmetto went up 4-0, I believe. This one's only 3-1. So, you know, Southeast seems to be on track to come back for a 2-point victory at the end.
Okay. Seems the way it's been going tonight.
Yeah.
So don't panic yet.
Not quite. Ooh. Oh. Very nice for both teams. Good save. Jatori. A little bit out. Oh no, that's it. Again, we can't see that other side of the court, so it's very difficult for us to make that decision. But Jatori is, and Jatori is going to be a superstar here for Southeast for years to come. That's Jatori Freeman.
Oh, nice play.
Did they do that on purpose?
Yes, well, she set the ball rather tight to the net, but because Reagan has some nice ups there, and she reached real high and just able to get a little finger on that ball and tip it to keep it in play.
That's almost
very nice.
That's almost like setting up a dunk.
Oh, that was a
And
nice
that
play.
too. And that too.
Again,
They had it on the net, I think, anyway.
I really like the way that Reagan plays at the net. She's always ready for the ball coming over on the second, no matter what contact it is. And when that ball's tight, that was a perfect example there of what you should do with the ball when it's tight. Reach up and push it down in an area where the other team isn't. That was a great job.
A little strong. Little strong. Coming into the game for Southeast is Sarah Harrison. And Tyra's going to get to sit down. Back set to Tori. And we got a point with a couple hits again for Palmetto.
Double contact called on Palmetto.
Double. You know, I say a couple hits. Exactly right. 2 contacts there. Right? Double contact has been called quite a bit tonight for both teams. Nice touch. That was a
Nice
really
play
nice
there.
touch. That was a really nice touch. Good defense. Up.
Uh,
And we
same
got,
call again.
guess what? We got a double what?
Double contact.
Double contact.
But again, we saw Reagan make a nice move there. The ball looked like it was going to hit the floor. She sprang up from the back row and passed the ball. She's doing a really nice job.
Got a good set. Ooh.
Good,
Still
great
alive.
play
Still
out of-
alive.
Great play by Palmetto out of the net.
And
Back
again.
out to her.
And
To
not going to
Danielle
get that
again.
one.
Nice.
Not going to
There you go.
I thought you had it.
Some excitement on the sidelines too.
The crowd's getting involved. Nice deep serve.
Oh,
I saw that net moving quite a bit. I don't know.
I'm not sure who was in, but there was somebody in the net, big time. It's really a call that's supposed to be made by the down official,
He didn't call it.
the
So,
floor official, and
so the up referee's asking, why didn't you call that?
right. I didn't see who it was, but I'm thinking it might have been Southeast that was in the net. I think they got lucky there.
I thought Palmetto, but
Yeah.
okay. Reagan serves a nice flat serve. How can they get that? Their defense is looking really good.
Keep going. Again, Southeast is doing the smart thing and going back to their hot hitter time and time again.
A little short. Danielle's getting a little frustrated.
Yeah.
She has to put it away. Brings the score 8-5. Southeast. Now remember what we talked about last game and the first game. Pretty much the same scenarios happening here.
Right.
You get momentum going from one team to the other, but
Right.
Southeast seems to be about a point. Oh, whoa!
There we go. Nice set.
That takes care of that frustration a little
That
bit.
does. Take that out on the ball. Yeah, it seems to be what's going on. And then at about 15, it seems like Palmetto makes a comeback. We'll see if that happens this game. But that's what we've been seeing in the last few games. And then it's just nip and tuck until the end.
Miss Maldonado comes back to serve. Serves a nice serve. Good save.
Oh, nice play.
Okay. That ball rattling up in the ceiling, and he still got it.
Right.
No.
Oh, nice play off the
good
block
save.
there.
Good save.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my God.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky.
Well, we've said that before, haven't
Yes.
we? I'd rather be lucky than good any
Right.
day.
Yeah. That was maybe not the prettiest play, but they got the point.
Another good serve.
Oh, watch the ball.
Oh.
So one thing I'm not sure I commented on, but if the ball hits the ceiling and up here we go. But Palmetto tips the ball over it.
Right in the
Southeast
middle.
just making a play to keep the ball in play and in the middle of the court where it's a tough play for Palmetto. But
Maxine back a little long.
what I was about to say was if you're playing the ball, no matter what gym you're in, if it hits the ceiling and comes back down on your side of the court, it's a playable ball. But if it hits the ceiling and goes over, that's considered out of bounds. So far we've had a bunch of balls hit the ceiling and come down, and the team has been playing them, and actually rather well.
Palmetto hits it into the net, but we haven't seen a lot of that tonight. Most of the serves have been fairly safe or over at least, or good
Right.
serves. We
Yeah.
haven't seen a lot of missed serves tonight.
No, we haven't.
Danielle back to serve.
Oh,
Great
that's
serve.
a tough serve.
That's an ace. They got that dance going pretty well with
They
an ace,
do.
don't they?
I think they've got that down.
No, I guess I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, I know. That always seems to happen, though. You make a comment on something, and then it happens the very next
The next
play.
point, yep. 13-7 Southeast. Southeast up by 6. Into the game is Shaylin Holt. Ooh, I thought she was going to kill that one. And out. A little strong from the back row. Palmetto needs to settle down here at 14-7. Back serve, Ambrielle Jones.
Yes, Southeast is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
There's the set. Oh.
Oh, double hit in that. I didn't see that one, but
Well, yeah, they're watching that setter pretty closely.
they are watching it.
I know Maxine has had a few called on her in the past.
Yeah, you can definitely see the game plan for Southeast when they're passing the ball well. They're definitely going, the majority of sets are going to their outside hitters.
No thanks, Maxine.
But obviously they have a lot of contact in those, or confidence in their outside hitters.
Ooh, nice.
Nice pursuit of the ball there, and they're able to keep it in.
My gosh. No. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
She jumped a little too early.
You could, it was a very tough angle to take the ball from that far back in the court at that angle.
And I believe Southeast made that call for a timeout, which was pretty smart because you could see that the momentum switched there to Palmetto. There.
Right.
Scores 14-10. Remember, 3 out of 5. If Southeast wins this is the whole match.
Yeah, I believe this is the 4th year that Southeast has played Palmetto in Volley for the Cure. Before that, Southeast was playing Manatee. And I think this is a much better, more competitive game than that. But I believe that the record for Volley for the Cure against Palmetto is Southeast has won twice and Palmetto's won once.
I know Manatee is at least a couple classes up and a much bigger school, so
Right.
they have a lot more. Plus, they just have a darn good team.
They do. They have a very good volleyball team.
Okay, we're coming back. We're set to go. Again, I apologize to our viewers and listeners that we can't see the numbers on the
Oh, right in the corner. Great serve.
perfect serve. We can't see the numbers on Palmetto's team, so it's very difficult for us to, unless they turn around,
Right.
for us to tell us who they are. Whereas Southeast has numbers on both the front and back. And into the net. Just when you get going good.
She's number 1. Madison Waldo.
Madison, one of the co-captains, doing a great job tonight. Back to serve is number 9, Brooke Washington. Good serve in the back. Again, defense by Palmetto is looking really good.
That really hasn't worked tonight when she's I've noticed whenever the setters dump the ball.
It doesn't seem to work, yeah.
No, when the setter takes the ball over on the first contact, Palmetto really seems to be ready for that. I don't know if Southeast did that to them before, but they really seem to be on top of that.
Coming into the game for Southeast is Tasha Williams, just a sophomore. Brought up today from the JVs.
Oh, it's pretty short.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Caught Southeast.
Thought she was going to
creeping
take
out.
out the lineman.
Yeah.
Linesman.
Yeah, Southeast got caught. They all had all their players creeping up a little bit. Nobody deep for that deep ball.
Number 10's back to serve.
Oh,
That could have been her first point of the game here. Yes!
there we
Yes!
go.
What
Got up
a-
nice and high right in the corner. Good play.
Now that set made all the difference in that kill. You get the set at the right spot, and the kill's just a matter of doing it. Coming back into the game, Danielle Marlin, number 14. And back to serve, Tyra Perkins, number 6. Oh, might have been out, but she had to take it. And again,
They go back to Danielle here, who had the hot hand earlier.
and
Hustle, good hustle, good
Rankin,
hustle.
too. Got to go over, and it does.
Both teams going with their
And
their
out.
hot hitters.
Tough time for Palmetto right now. Maybe I might want to call a timeout if I were them. 18 to 12. But Coach Tammy's letting them play it out.
Nice play.
Good touch. And out.
Again, trying to hit that spot where that she hit earlier. That was
Yeah,
open
that was
on
a
the
beautiful
court.
play
Yes.
before, but yeah. 19 to 12. Southeast up by 7 with Tyra Perkins back to serve. Again, a good serve.
Tara's very consistent on her serve.
Well, we got a double contact. Yep.
On that.
Palmetto needed that point really bad.
See if they can.
Take
Take
advantage
advantage,
of this, get the
right.
momentum on their side.
This is I believe their freshman Courtney Waldo, who's gotten a lot of points for them serving tonight.
No, I could see that. I could see that happening.
Just wasn't quite. Her body wasn't in quite the right position to hit that ball.
Well, the set took her out of her play there.
Nice pass.
Well, playing around a little too much here, you're going to let them right back in the game, just like they did the first 2 games. And that was 19 to 15.
Right. That's Up, that's that same spot again. That time it worked.
Well,
Her body's
Ambria
facing that
knows exactly
direction.
where to put it, doesn't she?
Right, she does. And she's pretty much facing exactly where she's going to put that ball. One thing about
And we got a
Southeast
we got a
calls
timeout for Southeast. Probably a good timeout.
Yes, good time for a timeout. That's one thing the server for
We got to watch the
you could say
replay. on
Ambria
TV.
put that ball right in that spot again, right where there's nobody from Southeast. But good time for a timeout.
But she always does it when she's on that other side.
Right.
She's
Right.
that spot.
Right, and that's a vulnerable place in depending on what defense you play. But in the defense that Southeast is playing, that's one area of the court that the team is choosing to leave open because it's a hard area to hit. So hopefully they'll make an adjustment there and be ready for that. But one thing I've noticed about the girl who's serving for Palmetto, Courtney Waldo, she's a freshman. It's impressive. She's had a very consistent serve, and it's not really hard, overly hard, but it's consistent. And of course, right when I say that,
It's almost guaranteed.
it's
isn't
almost
it?
guaranteed she'll miss her serve. But she hasn't missed many serves tonight, and similar to Ambrielle on our side, or it was Tyra on our side who's been really serving consistently for Southeast. Nice hit.
Just a little too.
Good
And
play.
a good kill by Palmetto. Whoever did that.
That was Ambria Rankin again with that kill.
Back to serve for Palmetto is Jade Fayed, also a sophomore. Got to be sisters here. Fayeds and Fayeds
Yeah,
and
and
Waldos
they
and
really
Waldos.
really look alike too.
Tough one. We're at that point, 21 points, where I always say this is the time where the next couple points are very important, especially when you're up by 4. Back to serve for Southeast. Maxine Maldonado, another
There's an ace. It looked like that ball.
an ace.
Right, that ball hit the after the
antenna.
contact. Yeah, after the contact by the passer hit the antenna, so that would be considered an ace.
That would be considered what?
An ace.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
I said ace.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Another good serve in the back. A little bit off on that, cause free ball. Good set. No. 22-18. Palmetto needs a point pretty bad. Back to serve is Ambria Rankin. And serves it right where nobody is.
Yeah, creeping back into this game, Palmetto is. Southeast needs to buckle down here and finish the game out.
Only up by 3 points.
Yeah.
And now it's 2 points.
And with Ambria back there serving, she's a tough server, and she has very good ball control. She can keep the pressure on them. There we go.
Ooh. Good save.
Here they go back to Ambria again. It's like a one-man team over there.
Nice, Ambria. Oh, a little out.
Just
Little too
out.
far out. 3 in a row.
And now they're right back in this game.
Well, it's a normal thing. This is the 3rd game. We pretty much do that every game, 22-21. So this point is important too.
It is. Ooh, that looked like it might have been going out of bounds. Ball is in.
Oh, she saved it. Well, and the point goes to Southeast.
Looks like she called a double contact on Palmetto. I couldn't see this. I still didn't see the
I didn't
call,
see the call, no.
but something against Palmetto, and I think it was a double contact.
23-21. Danielle serving. Palmetto needs this one bad. Good deep serve. And into the net.
Match point. Set match point for
Kind of
Southeast.
following the first 2 games. Come on, get moving, girl.
There we go. Tough serve there. ace
And
for
out.
game point.
All right, what a way to end it. That's on an ace by Danielle Marler. Wow. Wow. What do you think about this match tonight there, Miss Burgess?
I thought it was much more exciting to watch Southeast tonight than the other night when we watched them. They have much better ball control. You could see that you could really see who they preferred to give the ball to on offense. I thought the other day when we watched them against Dunedin, they didn't really have a chance to really use their offense because their passing wasn't very good. And so we got to see some nice hitting by their star hitters. I would say the star hitters tonight were Danielle Marler and Tyra Perkins. That's who they tried to get the ball to, and they did a great job. They did a great job.
That was two really great plays by both of them. Okay. This is our last broadcasted volleyball game for the season. Do you know that, Marcy?
I did know that.
But SCTV will be back with several sports throughout the year. We'll be broadcasting the homecoming football game in just 3 days as our Southeast Seminoles take on the Cardinal Mooney Cougars. And I'll have to be on the sidelines taking and running the chains for that game. Until then, this is Don McGee with my favorite color analyst, Marcy Barges, saying have a great night and congratulations to Southeast on a well-deserved victory.